News now begins at this hour in West Africa, where the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has formally written to the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mr. Bayo Ojulari, urging him to immediately account for 500 billion naira in oil revenue reportedly missing from the Federation account. The demand, made in a letter dated May 17, 2025, comes in response to recent revelations by the World Bank, which show that Nigeria earned over 1.1 trillion naira from crude oil sales and related income between October and December of 2024. However, only 600 billion naira was remitted by the NNPCL, raising serious questions about the unaccounted 500 billion naira balance. SERAP is calling for full transparency, immediate recovery of the missing funds, and prosecution of anyone found responsible. The group has given the company 7 days to respond or face legal action. The organization warned that the missing funds could severely impact critical areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure, especially amid widespread economic hardship. And let's move on now to politics as Nigeria begins to look ahead to the 2027 general elections. A significant political shift is underway in the South-South region. Traditionally a stronghold of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, now the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, is gaining ground. In this special report, News Central's Austin Azu takes a closer look at the challenging political landscape.
Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewori, former PDP Vice Presidential candidate Tiffany Okowa, and other party leaders recently defected to the APC, thereby ending PDP 26-year governance in the oil-rich Niger Delta State.
We have been in opposition for almost 10 years. Do we need that? Mr. President have supported us. We cannot face him in 2027 to work against him.
22 lawmakers of the State House of Assembly, including the Speaker Imomotimi Gowo, also defected from the PDP to the APC, citing on ending internal crisis within the South-South PDP leadership.
That our defection was occasioned by the instability at the national level and the factionalization at the South-South level.
In Edo State, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Blessing Igbabako, also defected from the PDP to the APC, along with 17 local government chairmen, many councillors, and other high-ranking party members.
We, the members of the House, we have been with you and will continue to with you.
Integrity Group also staged a 1 million man march in Asaba in solidarity with Governor Sheriff Oborewori and the entire PDP structure for dumping the PDP for the APC.
We are celebrating the 2 years of impact of good governance in Delta. So we are celebrating him, and even the recent movement from the PDP to the APC to connect to the national body of the APC with the president, to support the president to do better.
In the gale of mass defections rocking the PDP in the South-South region, what leadership strategy is the PDP adopting to strengthen its position and play active opposition role?
Yeah, it's giving us concern, but that's the human being for you. The human being is a free moral agent, and the Constitution allows for it. But the party must maintain its discipline. But we took a position in our last NWC meeting to go to court. So we are waiting the legal advisor's recommendation on how to go about it. We are going to take back our mandate in court. But this is no longer a scope. This is about leaving the party to another party.
As the politics of 2027 continues to take shape with surprises and intrigues, among others in the South-South region, political observers are watching and following every development with keen interest. In Asaba for News Central, Austin Azu.
This week at Nigeria's Senate, political realignments took center stage as 3 lawmakers from Kebbi State defected to the ruling party while heated debates unfolded over a 1.7 trillion naira FCT budget. Also, the bill seeking to the establishment of a proposed national malaria eradication agency passed the second reading on the floor of the Senate. Our News Central's Sagir Ibrahim gives an overview of what transpired at the Senate during the course of the week. Take a look.
Opened with yet another round of cross-carpeting as lawmakers Adamu Alewa representing Kebbi Central, Yahya Abdullahi representing Kebbi North, and Garba Meidoki representing Kebbi South all crossed from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, citing unresolved internal crisis. The Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, welcomed the defectors, saying that their move will strengthen the ruling party's legislative agenda.
So it shows that there will be a lot of successes and victories for the APC in the future. Nigerians are beginning to understand what progressive ideology means.
Amid the political maneuvers, security concerns also dominated Tuesday's session as lawmakers demanded urgent military reinforcement in Borno State following fresh terrorist attacks. Mohammed Bongono, representing Borno North, also led calls for advanced deployment of adequate security to notable flashpoints.
Insurgents have employed more modern technology, including the use of drones, to unleash attacks on villages and communities in the state.
It's not only in Borno and Yobe, but Adamawa inclusive.
On Wednesday, the lawmakers scrutinized the 1.7 trillion naira FCT budget, which then passed its second reading. While some praised the FCT minister Nyesom Wike for his initiatives in the capital, others voiced concerns about illegal settlement springing up in the city and exorbitant land prices.
We have seen the revolutionary infrastructure taking place, and all we need to do, tracking revenues and the utilization of those revenues.
When the roads are provided in those areas and water and other infrastructure are laid, the prices of land will come down.
The Senate Committee on Federal Character clashed with government agencies on Wednesday as Chairman Olwell Onyeso denounced the serial disrespect of absent chief executive officers during oversight hearings.
Part of the discipline of you being chief executive is to obey the law. If you don't come, there will be punitive action.
Thursday's session saw the advancement of lawmaker Ned Nwoko's health bill seeking the establishment of a national malaria eradication agency. This gained wide support across party lines.
Its mandate will be clear and aggressive. Formulate and champion national policies for malaria eradication.
This bill will focus our attention on eradicating malaria, reducing the impact amongst the Nigerian people.
From defections to security and also malaria control, this week's Senate activities showcased the chamber's political tensions and its policy ambitions. In Abuja for News Central, Sagir Ibrahim.
Away from that, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has assured residents of Guadalada and Wari area councils of plans by the FCT administration to construct 2 bus terminals in their area. The minister, during the inspection of renovation works at the Abuja International Conference Center and the state of construction works at the Ushafa area access road in Wari Area Council, says that the terminals, when completed, will reduce insecurity and cases of abduction of residents by one-chance syndicates.
Last time we went to Mapuche and Kubu. Of course, we will have another one on the central area. We are going to establish one in Babara, one in Buari, so that you have people who take you from Buari down to the city. Either you are going to the Mapuche area or to the Kubu bus terminal or to the central business bus terminal. The same thing applies to Babara. By the time we have done that, you can imagine that people will be safe, will be secured. You can now go to any bus terminal, board a bus entirely, and go to where you are going to without having this problem of one chance.
The Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has issued a weather forecast predicting sunny and Let's go on a short break, shall we? When we return, we'll give you that report. Stay with us. And you're welcome back. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has issued a weather forecast predicting sunny, cloudy, and stormy conditions across the country from Sunday through Tuesday. In its statement released Saturday in Abuja, NIMET said most areas would experience sunny skies on Sunday morning, but warned that thunderstorms are expected later in the day across parts of Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, Taraba, and Adamawa states. For the north-central region, states including Kwara, Plateau, Nasarawa, Niger, Benue, and Kogi are expected to experience isolated thunderstorms by afternoon and evening. In the southern states, early morning thunderstorms are likely in Cross River, Lagos, Ogun, Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta, and Akwa Ibom, with further storms expected later in the day. NIMET is advising the public to take precautions as strong winds may precede thunderstorms. People are urged to avoid driving in heavy rain, disconnect electrical appliances, and stay away from tall trees to reduce the risk of falling branches. Airline operators have also been encouraged to consult NIMET for up-to-date forecast to aid in safe flight planning. In education, on Saturday, May 17th, it marked day 2 of the UTME resit, as ordered by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB. The board had rescheduled the exam for over 300,000 candidates after widespread technical glitches disrupted sessions at 157 computer-based test centers. The affected states include Lagos, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, and Enugu, where candidates faced issues that compromised the integrity of their scripts. News Central's Israel Efirobo, he visited one of the CBT centers in Lagos for an on-the-ground report. And here's what he found. Take a look.
In the wake of widespread public concern over technical glitches and poor performance in the recent UTME exams, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board ordered a retake for affected candidates. At the CBT Center visited by News Central, venue for the exams, candidates arrived early and the exam commenced promptly following a seamless verification process. This new effort by JAMB has sparked cautious optimism among students and their parents.
I'm a little bit scared, but hoping that I can do better than the other time. I felt so bad when I saw the score because, and mostly the thing that is in that examination was very simple. Like we came out, we were like, the questions are so easy.
Some of the students spoke to News Central after writing the exam.
It was nice. I did a lot of questions, like I knew the ones I knew, and I left the rest to God.
Did you experience any form of challenge like the last time?
Not really, but somehow, just a little.
Were you able to submit your answers this time around?
Yes, I submitted.
It was cool, fantastic, nice. It was okay.
So are you expecting a good?
I didn't express any challenges or nothing at all.
Thank you.
All right. It was tougher than the last one, but it was still okay. I wasn't able to finish, but just like a few questions left. No, there wasn't any problem. Everything was smooth. You're welcome.
Some parents shared their thoughts on the entire process and the way forward.
She was the person that was checking her phone before she found out that they are going to redo it. So I was excited too, so that she can be able to get what she wants. So I'm hoping that this time around, the Lord will intervene.
I came here, I think I don't have any complaint. Because when they told us 6:30, immediately we reached at 6:30 dot. They start checking them in, doing their normal process. So I think they have been trying. It's not that this that happened just like a question of the way God wanted it.
We write exams online. Rather than do this CBT, going to centers, they can do it in the comfort of their homes with their own laptops. There is a camera that will capture you. If you stand up, then it's cancelled. We can do this seamlessly. It's very simple. We just need to get it right.
While challenges remain, this retake is being seen as a step in the right direction as stakeholders await the outcome with renewed expectations.
In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Efirobo.
And in the southeast, students also turned out in large numbers for the ongoing UTME resit following the directive from the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB. News Central's Chinwe Ugeli reports from one of the test centers in Umuahia.
First, they arrive either by themselves or in the company of their parents. At this Joint Admission Matriculations Board CBT Center in Obakalaoma, South Local Government area of Abia State, it was a seamless process of accreditation for the candidates for both sessions. While the parents see the receipt as stressful for the candidates and families, the candidates are, however, hoping to advance their scores this time around.
It's going to be better than my last score. It's going to be above 200.
The exam was good. There was no problem. In this one, I'm hoping to get up to 200 in this one. But I didn't experience any problem. I'm hoping that this one will be better.
At the end of the exams on Saturday, some of the candidates say they did not have any form of technical issue on their computers, but showed preference for the previous questions in the cancelled examination.
The process of the exam was successful, but a little bit hard, because what we saw previously was not what we saw today.
It was okay, just that the questions were more difficult than the initial one that we wrote.
They are hoping that this time around there will not be any more issues, even though some have also identified that there were no issues in the previous examination.
Some, however, say they had technical situation with their system, which was handled in time by officials.
In my chemistry, from number 1 to 10, if I tick any answer, it doesn't indicate that I've ticked that answer. It just goes blank like that until I caught the attention of the supervisor, told me to exit the subject, go on that subject that I've already done and come back to it. I did the same thing. It occurred, but I tried the third time. It's normalized.
However, some parents have their reservations about the process, calling for the scrapping of JAMB entirely.
In my mind, I think JAMB should be eradicated. So, in my opinion, they should leave off this thing. People should be assessed by their, WAEC or NECO, so that whoever has scored reasonably, his or WAEC, should be allowed to gain admission. So this thing, they are calling it glitches. They've prevented many people from getting admission.
Others decry the emotional stress they and their children are subjected to as a result of the rescheduling.
They are supposed to receipt those people that score low. Mainly on that Saturday that they did not have 1 to 11. Not everybody, not causing trauma to the whole state. Hopefully, at the end of the day, everyone will be happy for the results that will be churned out. In Umuahia for News Central, Chinwe Ugeli.
Still on education, the federal government says that it has earmarked over 80 billion naira for the renovation of the more than 100 unity schools nationwide. This was made known by Nigeria's Minister for State for Education, Suwaba Ahmed, as she visited unity schools in Kano and Jigawa states. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu reports.
Though looking serene and bubbling with activities of students, these unity schools are still in need of attention, ranging from teacher welfare, poor student-teacher ratio, retention and enrollment of students, and lots more. The Minister of State for Education, Suwaba Ahmed, while confirming these issues during her inspection tour, says that the federal government has already commenced efforts aimed at tackling them by setting aside about 80 billion naira for the over 100 unity schools in the country.
Because of the complaint we have had, we have put it in the budget a lot of money, 60 to 80 billion for the renovation of our federal unity colleges, and this will soon implement once we start implementing the budget. All our unity colleges, 100 plus that we have, are going to be renovated. Of course, we are working on to ensure that we abide by the teacher-student ratio, and it's part of why I'm here to review really the number of teachers we have and also the number of students we have, so that once we see that there is the ratio is not appropriate, then we will work on it to ensure that really we abide by the ideal teacher-student ratio.
She says that her findings during the visit was as a result of her engagement with teachers and students from the Federal Government College, Kano, and the Federal Government Girls College, Kazauri, in Jigawa State.
Key priority areas in terms of effectiveness of teaching, pedagogical content knowledge, issues around contextualization of teaching, issues around edutainment, issues around new methods of teaching, value system from school to work. These are key things that are needed for every effective teacher.
The Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, is also inspecting other federal government colleges in the southern part of the country. In Kano for News Central, Emmanuel Bagudu.
Youths have been urged to drive the conversation around food security through technology and innovation to boost farm yields. This was as agriculture experts converged on the nation's capital, Abuja, for the 2025 Youth Africa Challenge, where young African agripreneurs presented several homemade innovative solutions that can transform Nigeria's agriculture sector. Amadin Uyi reports.
With over 200 million in population and Nigeria expected to double its current size to about 450 million persons by 2050, the discussion about ensuring adequate food security has become necessary. While over 50% of Nigerians are youths, many say that there is a need for young citizens to drive the conversation on food security, adoption of modern farming methods using technology, and participation of youths in agriculture.
The challenge of food security is significant, but the potential of our youth, armed with the power of technology, is even greater.
We believe that our youth that empowering our youth is not just a matter of social responsibility. It is a strategic imperative for the sustainable growth of our agricultural sector.
We are looking for young talent, young boiling blood, people who have ideas, who can go out there to make it happen. We are looking at technology, precision farming. That is what we are talking about.
As young African agri-tech startups converge on Abuja to pitch homemade innovative solutions that can transform Nigeria's agricultural sector, organizers say that they are confident youths across the continent can lead the way in adopting technology in agriculture.
We want agriculture to move from where it used to be, subsistence and hoe and cutlass, to technology-oriented business, commercialized business, with youth playing the focal hand holders of that opportunity.
Some of the finalists expressed their joy at the opportunity given to be part of a new generation of African youths, revolutionizing change in agriculture using technology.
I feel very happy about this. This is very exciting for me. It just validates all the years of hard work and the amount of work we've put into this competition.
I feel so excited actually. We've worked really hard. They've put us through the boot camp. We're able to fine-tune our solution to become something that is worthy of being selected as the first runner-up. I'm actually overwhelmed.
My message for young entrepreneurs would be there are a lot of opportunities out there. As long as you believe in your dream, you believe in your vision, there are opportunities to achieve that, so keep pushing and you get it.
The Youth African Challenge showcases the future of agri-tech innovation in Nigeria, celebrating youth-driven solutions in building a more resilient food system. It also presents an opportunity for youth in agriculture to network and build an ecosystem for agriculture to thrive in an effort to guarantee food security. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadin Uyi.
Stakeholders say less than 2 million Nigerians buy insurance policies annually, underscoring the widespread lack of coverage and low awareness within the insurance sector. They disclosed this at a recent investment summit 1.0 themed investments in insurance opportunities for financial growth. Experts decry the knowledge gap among Nigerians, citing trust, education, and access, insisting that lack of understanding of these fundamentals is what is plunging young people into financial challenges.
Insurance is still a different form of investment, where
if, let me use something as basic as your car insurance, right? As basic as your car insurance. You put money down to insure your car, or your vehicle, whatever. And, what we have typically that happens today in Nigeria is we pay for insurance on a yearly basis. But at the same time, if you're involved in a motor accident, you're still the one that's stressing, looking for your mechanic and trying to sort your car out. You don't even think of the insurance company. You don't think about the insurance company. You just want to go and sort your car out yourself. So what we're trying to do, like I said, is education, to let Nigerians know that if you have a comprehensive insurance, your duty is it's a level of investment.
We have an average of about people within the ages of 25 and 30. And personally, I think that is the best time for you to start to learn about the impact that your financial decisions will make 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Very many of us didn't have these opportunities. Some of us just heard about it. Some of us took a chance. But here we have a crop of people who are yearning to understand because they potentially don't want to make any mistake. So we're saying that once they understand the basics now, the decisions they make now, you would see the positive effect 5, 10 years from now. Because of the better decisions they're able to make, whether with investments or with their types of insurances, they become better people.
There's a lot more that needs to be done about creating awareness, for insurance, especially with respect to the opportunities for investment and the value that insurance brings, to the management of risk in the investment environment. If you look at the level of insurance penetration in Nigeria, it's extremely low. It's one of the lowest that we have on the continent. So that speaks to the need for us to ensure that we create more awareness about the opportunities in the insurance industry.
On Saturday, Togo's Prime Minister, Faure Gnassingbé, the African Union's mediator in the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, hosted a crucial meeting in Lomé. The session brought together 5 former African heads of state to discuss potential solutions to the ongoing crisis in the eastern DRC. The leaders included Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, Olusegun Obasanjo of Nigeria, Mogasit Masisi of Botswana, Sahel Work Wande of Ethiopia, and Katrina Samba Panza of the Central African Republic. The high-level meeting took place behind closed doors at the Council Presidency, where the group discussed strategies for achieving an African solution to the conflict that has destabilized the eastern DRC for years. As efforts continue, many hope this meeting will pave the way for a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis in the region. Still on DRC's conflict, armed fighters from the M23 group, which has taken control of eastern DR Congo's key major town of Goma on Saturday, set about expelling thousands of people they say are illegals from Rwanda. On Monday, the group's military spokesman, Willy Ngoma, had presented to the media 181 men whom they refer to as Australian subjects, or rather Rwandan subjects, I beg your pardon, illegally in the country at Goma's main sports stadium. Several hundred women and children, relatives of those detained, joined them at the stadium aboard trucks chartered by the M23. And off to Chad, where the legal team representing former Prime Minister, opposition leader Success Masra, has condemned his arrest, calling it illegal. Now, during a press conference in the capital, the legal team demanded that authorities provide evidence to justify the detention of the former Prime Minister and opposition leader. Masra is facing allegations of inciting hatred in relation to deadly clashes that took place in the southwest of Chad. However, his lawyers argue that the circumstances surrounding the arrest violate the principle of a fair trial, calling into question both the legality and fairness of the process. The arrest, which took place early on Friday, has sparked widespread concern about political tensions and the state of justice in Chad.
Les qualifications infractionnelles retenues à l'encontre de notre client seraient, entre autres, l'incitation à la haine, à la révolte, constitution et complicité des bandes armées, complicité d'assassinat, incendie volontaire et de profanation des sépulcres. Que les conditions de l'arrestation du docteur Assiongar Masra succès et l'intervention du procureur de la République ayant repris mot à mot les déclarations de certains membres du gouvernement sont en violation du principe du procès équitable avec son corollaire de la présomption d'innocence.
Voilà, ce sont les membres du gouvernement qui disent que c'est authentifié. Mais authentifié comment? Qui a authentifié le jeu? Parce que si le jeu sera authentifié de manière contradictoire par la respective, il ne peut pas nous dire que c'est un truc authentifié. Donc les réactions prouvent qu'il n'y a rien même dans cette tour-là qui constitue une infraction contre le procès manifestement politique. Voilà le caractère politique de cette procédure est patent. Donc on ne peut pas hésiter à dire que c'est un procès politique. Vous voyez, vous avez suivi les interventions des ministres, même des sénateurs, qui ont raconté n'importe quoi. Je pense que dans un état de droit, l'exécutif doit quand même se réserver et laisser le judiciaire faire son travail. Mais c'est l'exécutif qui est dedans et tout ce que le procureur a repris, ce sont les propos de l'autorité.
And off to North Africa, for a second straight day, protesters gathered in Tripoli on Saturday amid Libya unrest. We'll bring you that story, but off to North Africa, for a second straight day, protesters gathered in Tripoli on Saturday demanding the resignation of Prime Minister Abdulhamid Deiba. Around 500 people took to the streets just days after violent clashes rocked the Libyan capital. The latest demonstration followed a much larger protest on Friday when thousands marched from the Martyrs Square to the Prime Minister's office, voicing anger over insecurity and political instability. The government confirmed that a police officer was shot and killed by unknown assailants while guarding the Prime Minister's compound during the unrest. Though life in Tripoli is slowly returning to normal, with flights resuming, shops reopening and residents back at work, the political climate remains tense and volatile.
الليبيين اللي موجودين هنا في الميدان ندفع ايدينا الى السلم والى انهاء هذه الحكومه، سواء الجسم اللي موجود في الغرب او موجود في الشرق. نحن نسعى الى تكوين جسم موحد هدفه يخدم الشعب الليبي اللي موجود في هذه.
فهذه الحكومتين يجب عليهم ان تسقط هذه الحكومتين ليرتاح الشعب الليبي. لأن الفساد كثر أكثر يعني ما تتصور، يعني مش معقولة توصل درجة هي والشعب الليبي يقعد يعاني كل عام أحرف من عام.
Meanwhile, Libya's UN recognized Prime Minister Abdulhamid Deiba on Saturday called on all armed groups to align with state institutions following several days of deadly clashes in Tripoli. The fighting erupted between a government-aligned militia and several factions that Deiba's administration has been trying to disband. According to the United Nations, at least 8 people have been killed in the violence, though official casualty figures have yet to be confirmed by Libyan authorities. Tensions escalated after the reported killing of Abdul Ghani al-Kili, the leader of the support and stability apparatus, allegedly by the 444 Brigade, which is loyal to the Prime Minister.
إلحاد للدولة مرحبتين به وأهلا وسهلا به. أي طرف من يستمر في الفساد والله في الابتزاز والله بعون الله ما نمسيبين. أنا والشباب المؤمنين بهذا المشروع، مشروع ليبيا خالية من الميليشيات وخالية من الفساد. أن الميليشيات تغولت وسيطرت على كل المشهد السياسي والمالي والاقتصادي وحتى الاجتماعي. أنا لأول مرة خوتي نقول لكم اليوم أصبح عندكم أمل في التخلص من هذه الميليشيات. وهذا الأمل بدأ يكبر ويكبر ويكبر إن شاء الله. اليوم ما تخلوهمش ينزعوا منكم هذا الأمل.
During his inaugural mass in front of world leaders and dignitaries, Pope Leo XIV delivered a powerful homily expressing his concerns about the state of the world. The pontiff strongly criticized an economic system that he said exploits nature and marginalizes the poor. In his remarks, the Pope highlighted the ongoing discord and divisions around the world, citing the wounds caused by hatred, violence, and prejudice. He emphasized that too many people are still suffering due to an economic paradigm that prioritizes profit over the earth's resources and the well-being of the most vulnerable. The Pope's words resonated deeply with those in attendance, setting the tone for his papacy as one focused on healing and justice.
In questo nostro tempo vediamo ancora troppa discordia, troppe ferite causate dall'odio, dalla violenza, dai pregiudizi, dalla paura del diverso, da un paradigma economico che sfrutta le risorse della terra ed emargina i più poveri. E noi vogliamo essere dentro questa pasta un piccolo lievito di unità, di comunione, di fraternità.
Middle East, where Yemen's Houthi rebels announced that they had fired 2 ballistic missiles at Israel's main international airport near Tel Aviv. The Israeli military confirmed it intercepted a missile launched from the Arabian Peninsula, though it did not report any damage or casualties. In a televised statement, Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Saree said the Iran-backed group launched the attack in response to the ongoing war in Gaza, where Israel has been engaged in a 19-month-long conflict with Hamas. Saree vowed that the Houthis would continue the missile strikes until what he called the siege on Gaza is lifted. The latest attack marks a growing regional spillover of the Gaza conflict, raising concerns of broader instability across the Middle East. Moody's has degraded the U.S. sovereign credit rating by 1 notch, intensifying concerns over the country's ballooning $36 trillion debt. The move, which follows similar actions by other major ratings agencies, signals eroding confidence in Washington's fiscal discipline. Investors now near a backlash from bond market vigilantes, those who demand higher returns to offset perceived fiscal irresponsibilities. Now, the downgrade raises the stakes for U.S. policymakers, with pressure mounting to reining spending and avoid triggering volatility in global financial markets already wary of America's long-term debt trajectory. Bielsa Queens clinched the 2024-2025 NWFL Premiership title after a dramatic final day of action with a 4-1 victory over Niger Rattles, with Vera Samuel scoring a brilliant hat-trick and Mega Cynthia adding a 4th goal. Their triumph came as rivals Edo Queens and Remo Stars Ladies dropped crucial points. Edo Queens played out a goalless draw against Nasarawa Amazons, while Remo Stars Ladies fell 2-1 to Rivers Angels, thanks to a brace from Titilayo Awida, Now, Aisha Animashaun scored for Remo Stars, but it wasn't enough to keep their title hopes alive. Bielsa Queens' dominant performance secured the league crown and ensures they represent Nigeria and the CAF's Women's Champions League.
It means a lot to me and in my career, because I've worked previously in various clubs. I'm unable to get this trophy. I've labored to get this trophy for myself as a team, because I remember there was a time I was invited in the national team. The criteria they used, what have I won for myself as a head coach, and nothing. But today I'm happy that I'm able to get this.
Congratulations to the Bielsa Queens, and that's all we can take at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. Serap calls for a probe into unremitted oil funds. And NIMET issues weather warning, advises caution as thunderstorms loom. And we also told you that Libya's prime minister urges militia loyalty to state institutions amid deadly Tripoli unrest. Now do remember that if you see anything out there, make sure to send us your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number now showing on the screen. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on social media. We're at News Central TV on all social media platforms. You can always watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422 or now on GoTV. Find us on channel 23, Star Times, channel 274, Avo TV, and you can stream us live on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Judith, the TV. Bye for now.